In the solemn yet equally splendid atmosphere of the 94th Academy Awards, when the spotlights were shining on Hollywood's most famous faces, a cinematic moment truly brought the audience to silence. Jamie Dornan walked up to the stage with his beloved wife Amelia Warner to receive the Best Actor award for his breakthrough role in The Ties That Burn, a fictional work with deep psychological nuances, set in post-war Northern Ireland. A new chapter, an old legend. Jamie Dornan, once widely known for his role as Christian Grey, has now transformed dramatically into the image of a single father struggling with the ghosts of war and traumatic memories. Critics called this transformation wonderful, brutal and chillingly honest. When the name Jamie Dornan rang out, the whole audience exploded in enthusiastic applause. But what melted millions of hearts was the moment he turned to Amelia Warner, his partner, the musician who had been quietly behind the scenes for many years, and softly said, "We did it together." Amelia wore a classic blue dress by designer Erdem, an elegant beauty with a British royal style amidst the Hollywood lights. They held hands and walked onto the stage, not just a cinematic moment, but a symbol of stability in a fast-paced entertainment world. "Thank you for believing in me when the world doubted." Jamie's speech was the most emotional highlight of the night. He didn't read from a piece of paper, didn't act dramatic, just simple and profound. "I used to think I was just a shadow of some movie character. But Amelia, you see something different. You see Jamie, someone who can be anything if someone believes in you. You are the reason I stand here today. This is not my victory, it is ours." The audience rose to their feet. It was no longer an award ceremony. It was a declaration of love, perseverance, and faith in true art. A turning point in his career, and in popular culture. There was no denying that Jamie Dornan had just etched his name into the pantheon of contemporary cinematic legends. But what made the moment last was not the golden statuette, but the way he skillfully balanced the aura of his career with the humble presence of a husband, a father, and a true artist. That night, under the twinkling stars of Hollywood, people saw more than just a shining actor. They saw a new symbol of courage, loyalty, and a desire to reach the purest level of art. "We don't want to be perfect. We just want to be real." Jamie Dornan and Amelia Warner open up after a magical Oscar night. Exclusive interview with Vanity Flame. Journalist, VF, Jamie, first of all, congratulations on a well-deserved golden statue. How do you feel right now? Jamie Dornan, honestly, I still feel like I am in a dream. I never thought I'd be walking up to the Oscar stage, holding a golden statue in my hand, and sharing that moment with Amelia, who has been with me through the weary days of waiting for an opportunity like this. VF, the audience was captivated not only by your performance, but also by the emotional presence of both of you. Amelia, do you think last night was a destination in your love journey? Amelia Warner, I think it was like a stop to breathe, look back, and say, we're still here, stronger than ever. The life of an artist can be lonely at times. But we choose to walk together, to face that vulnerability together, not to run away from it. That's all. VF, Jamie, many people say that The Ties That Burn is the role that redefined your career. What made you agree to play such a different and vulnerable character? Jamie Dornan, I've always believed that art should be about safe repetition. Christian Grey gave me fame, but also trapped me in a frame. This new role was like a cry for help, and I heard it. I read the script on a rainy night, looked over at Amelia writing the music, and I knew, if I didn't do this, I would regret it for the rest of my life. VF, and how did you, Amelia, accompany me through this process? Amelia laughs softly. I did the one thing I always do, I listened. I made the music for this film not to support Jamie, but because I understand the pain in that script. I know he felt lost, not belonging. My music is just the background beat for his inner voice. VF, there are many young audiences who see you as role models, artistic, family, and honest. How do you feel about that? Jamie, thinking, We never wanted to be role models. That word is so heavy. We are just two people trying to live authentically, love authentically, and make art with all kindness and respect. If someone finds that inspiring, we are grateful. But if I failed tomorrow, I would still choose to live the same way. Because it is real. Jamie Dornan's letter to himself 10 years ago. To Jamie, 2012, still wondering who I am in the shadow of a six-pack. Hello, brother. I know you've just accepted a role that could make the world remember you, but could also make you lose respect from yourself. I don't blame you, I did it too. I know why. You need money, you need a boost, you need a name that your parents back home will hear and be proud of. I understand. But hey, I'm not writing this to blame you, I'm writing this to whisper to you, be patient. There are days when you'll wake up and wonder, am I acting or being dragged through the motion pictures? And rest assured, that feeling is real. And I wish you weren't so strong like a PR machine. You can be weak. You can say, I'm not okay. It doesn't make you less of a person. It makes you more of a person. 10 years from now, you'll be standing on the Oscars stage. Not as a BDSM millionaire, but as a regular man, broken, regretful, and real. And you won't be alone. Amelia will be standing there, more beautiful than anything Hollywood has ever created. You'll look into her eyes and know, finally, I'm being myself. You won't have to scream. You won't have to prove anything. You'll just stand there, with your statuette, and smile, because the audience will finally see that you're not the person they thought you were. You're an artist. Take care of yourself. Read more. Write down your sadness. Don't force yourself to be sexy. And if you can, trust that it's the failures that build the man you aspire to be. See you backstage, old friend. A little more beard, a little more callous. And a lot more freedom. The end of a glorious night, on the drive back to the sleeping city. Fictional scene, 12:43 a.m., Sunset Boulevard, inside a dark limousine. Outside the glass window, the lights of Los Angeles are blurred like an unfinished dream. The entire city is still asleep, except for the two people who have just emerged from a real-life dream. Jamie leans her head back on the seat, unties her bow tie, her eyes still alight with amazement. The Oscar lies in its leather case between them, like a strange object that has just landed from space. Jamie, looking out. I thought they would shout someone else's name, like Benedict Cumberbatch or DiCaprio again. But then, boom, Jamie Dornan. I thought I heard wrong. Amelia, tilting her head, smiling. I knew it would be you. There was something in your eyes every time you came back from that set. It wasn't Jamie anymore, it was Jamie who lived somewhere else. Deeper, more real. Jamie, breathing softly, voice low. You know, when you walked on stage, all the noise went away. I didn't hear the applause. I didn't hear the MC. I just heard you holding my hand tighter than usual. That was the only thing that was real. Amelia, silent for a moment. Remember the first time we read the first review of 50 Shades? We were both laughing, but inside it was like a crack. Jamie. Yeah, a review that said you weren't as deep as the character. And it's true, you were just acting the cool people expected of you. But no one asked you what you wanted. Amelia. And now they know. She took his hand, not the hand they held when they were photographed. The hand they held in secret, when he was disappointed by being rejected for a role, when she sat alone in the studio making notes that only one person could hear, him. Jamie, squinting at the golden statue. I don't think of this as a reward. It's more like an apology from fate for letting me doubt myself for so long. Amelia. No, Jamie, it's not an apology. It's confirmation that you were never on the wrong path. It was just that your path was a little longer. They laughed, silently, as if nothing else needed to be said tonight. The car passed an old billboard with an image of Christian Grey, his face cold, shiny, distant. Jamie glanced at it, then turned to Amelia, softly. Jamie. Thank you for loving the part the world doesn't see. She squeezed his hand. No need to answer. The city lights continued to pass by them like a slow-motion movie. But in the backseat of that limousine, one knew, the real movie had just begun.